Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update. Thursday, October 25th, 9:40 p.m. Mountain Time 2018. You're looking at the result of multiple days of KP0. Sakurajima erupting today, as well as many other volcanoes. We have other volcanoes that are on watch. Öræfajökull, to be more specific. Come take a look at some of this. Come get some over at Volcano YT. Excellent footage of Saku erupting just 36 hours ago. Let's get on with the update. We'll be back. Hurricane Willa affected 33,000 in 2 states. Homes flooded, highways damaged, power cut off in Sinaloa and Nayarit. It was so bad that the drug kingpin over here came out and walked nipple deep in his red velour shirt. Look at him. There he is, Don Juan of Sinaloa, or the other place. But that's just amazing. Look at them. Look at, there's his bodyguard, and there's some other guy. Whew. Sinaloa Governor Quinro Ordaz visited affected areas of the state, while Nayarit Governor Ordaz in red shirt goes waiting. They are the same people. Apparently they love velour. Potent weekend storm to pound mid-Atlantic, New England coast, and unleash torrents of rain. What is a nor'easter? Well, it's when a hurricane comes from over here and moves over there and gathers a bunch of this and then goes up there. Right up the northeast. A storm from the south will evolve into a potent and disruptive nor'easter with gusty coastal winds, drenching rain, high elevation snow this weekend. Fast forward motion, the storm may limit the worst weather conditions from Friday night into Saturday night. Looking to be a little less devastating than they were predicting yesterday. There will be soaking rain and flooding into Friday. Travel delays, local flooding. Isolated severe thunderstorms. Michael and Florence areas here. You're already saturated. Rain, wind to wall up the mid-Atlantic, New England. Expect travel delays with many of the major airports from D.C., Baltimore, Philly, Newark, New Jersey, New York City, Boston likely. All affected for at least several hours. The nor'easter will arrive Friday night through Saturday night. Travel disruptions, local urban flooding, coastal flooding, wind damage, lots of pink dripping into the green areas with a bunch of gray wind going to the left. Whew. Heads up, DC. The gray arrow is pointed right at your dot. Enough rain can come down for a time to cause urban flooding. There are coastal concerns. Heavy winds, 40 to 60 mile per hour, strongest gusts in New Jersey north, some flooding, sporadic power outages, tree damage. How much snow will fall and where will it target? We'll get to it when we look at the GFS model. Florida hiker caught in deep snow, rescued off Mount Madison. Whew, these are live shots. That was deep. Here is deep snow seen near the summit of Mount Madison Wednesday. A Florida man was rescued from the mountain courtesy of New Hampshire Fish and Game. Well, apparently that guy was out of his element. Ow! Parts of the county pick up 10 inches of snow, Caribou, Maine. When Amy Hammer of Holton woke up and saw the snow coming down on Wednesday, she didn't think for a moment it would stick. Well, it stuck, and she's, yep. I didn't say it, but I meant it. Joel Olson, good buddy of mine, snow in the forecast for the Northwest Rockies and the Northeast. Yeah, Joel Gratz. Snowfall across the U.S. and Canada is about to pick up as we close out October. Are you picking up what we're putting down? Al Gore lied. Wildcat, New Hampshire, October 24th. Totally buried. Whew. Amazing. That's New Hampshire. Yes. Get a postcard as we look at the snow forecast for the end of the week and through the weekend of October 27th, 28th. The map shows significant snow returning to the northwest. That's the upper left. And another storm hitting the northeast. That's the upper right. And if you don't have your glasses on, there you go. Yes. Yes, let's click that arrow. Click it. Looking further ahead, the next week, the big change will be significant snow returning to the Rockies, including Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico. Here's the snow forecast, October 25th through November 2nd. Heavy dumps all the way up in the Canadian Rockies, down through the southern Rockies into New Mexico. More snow forecast for New England through November 2nd. Heads up. Looks like a great ski year. Here's the extended forecast looking through November. First week of November, below normal throughout the center of the Craton. Just like last year, Minnesota. Say it ain't soda. Yeah, you'll be 5 degrees below the. Yeah, I know. It sucks. But suck it up. Grand solar minimum is just beginning. We are not even going to reach the peak for another decade. And the autumnal snows are epic. So if we quickly come into the next few days and look at the remnants of Willow, what they're going to bring, just up to 6 or 8 inches in the high mountainous regions, but a general covering over New Hampshire, Vermont, northern Dax, heads up, most of Maine, and then light snow into the Rockies until the second storm drops down through British Columbia starting early next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Here's Thursday. Already by Thursday, we're talking 20 plus inches up there. And look at the British Columbia, Alberta region picking up hellish amounts, 4 feet plus, according to the GFS models. Also, by November 4th, all of Canada should be covered in some amount of snow. Say it ain't so, Al. What a fraud, man. He couldn't be wronger than anyone else on the planet. How does he even wake up and look at himself in the mirror? He's saying we're all burning up still, just coming out last week. I don't even understand it. Under threat, Britain's all-time October low record temperature record. Boom! And that's the volcano's days be exploding boom. We're going to get to that. It's so amazing that I've even included Maggie's Rappapart's volcano butt boom jiffy. Yes, I know you love it. Heads up. Under threat, Britain's all-time October low temperature record. And look at that. Doesn't it look like a big red, look, it's very phallic, so to speak. White screen, you love it. Just remember, this is the snow Al Gore said was never coming. Boom! Yeah. These volcanoes, days be exploding. I don't know what's happening here. UK weather warning. Shock map shows where in Britain snow will strike. Britain is bracing for freezing air to sweep across the country this weekend, with the latest weather chart claiming the North and the UK could face snowfall. The UK is bracing for freezing winds set to crash into the country this weekend, threatening to bring snow, according to the latest weather analysis. And this black thing popping up to the left, the probability of snowfall, Scotland is set to be hit with the white stuff during the early hours of Saturday morning. Met Office meteorologist Greg DeHurst warned temperatures were forecast to plunge within the next 24 hours. He said people are going to notice a huge change from the start of the week when it was relatively mild. Now, cold air will start to move in Thursday night and will be across the whole country by the end of Friday. Yes, look at the blue slivers. I'm already freezing my arse off. Forecasters say some very low temperatures could set records for October breaking this year. With temperatures forecast to plunge below, bookmakers have slashed odds on next month's being the coldest November on record, 2-1. How cold will it really be? We'll never know with these fearmonger rags printing shite that you have to read. Another white screen, and that's a volcano. Boom. You always need something to look at, or you're bored. Cold Turkey, 12C departure from seasonal norm, and even the Turkish people are pissed. Heavy rain will accompany a steep drop in temps over the weekend. A 12C departure from seasonal norm is expected. People are knitting up a storm. Look at that stitch. Amazing. Have you heard? Yeah, this just out, Jordan floods, totally fluxed. School children among 18 dead after bus was swept away. 18 people, mostly children, were killed when rains totally flooded the region, swept away a group of teachers and students touring the Dead Sea. Well, we'll see who's dead now. At least 18 people, mostly children, were killed when the torrential rain swept away a bus carrying students and teachers touring the Dead Sea. According to sources, most of the dead are reported to be children under the age of 14. That is totally fluxed up. Strong quake off Greece. No early reports of damage or injuries. This is associated with the cosmic ray infiltration of our Earth for over 72 straight hours just earlier in the week. We are now seeing the repercussions. All the planets are on one side of the ecliptic here. One side, kids. They're lining up. Space weather is adding insult to injury, the waning magnetosphere, and this is just a tip, a tippy touch, a taste of the tip of the very tip of the top of the tip of the iceberg. Thankfully, very few people were injured, but this may not be over, kids. We have multiple aftershocks up and down in the realm, and we have multiple quakes kicking off in Russia, including a 5.6 just moments ago, followed by a 4.7 aftershock. And the Chilean region is rocking. We also have some uptick here in the Utah-Montana region, 2.9 in Manhattan, and that is not in New York City. But check this out. This could be all associated with magma moving in the subsurface, and I'll get to it. Yes, Öræfajökull, Iceland's second deadliest volcano, is preparing for an eruption, scientists confirm. This is not fear-mongering. I am a scientist as well as a geologist, and I looked at the data, and I'm going to concur here. Scientists have confirmed that Iceland's second deadliest volcano is very active, despite having remained dormant for more than 250 years, as well as the other 30 volcanoes that were erupting back then that will re-erupt soon. Measurements show significant buildup of magma deep in the mountain, causing the mountain to transform and tremble. Seismic activity has increased drastically at Öræfajökull and surrounding regions in the last year and shows no signs of slowing down, which means they're picking up what we're putting down, and this baby is eventually going to blow. And what does that mean? Öræfajökull doesn't blow lightly. It has the potential to release catastrophic outwashes from melting glaciers in the subsurface. We're talking joculups. We talked about them in other episodes. These are major glacial melts which result in catastrophic flooding at the front of these glacial margins. I mean, the largest floods in recorded history occur here. So we're looking at the largest flood in recorded history occurring near Öræfajökull, as well as a VEI 4 or 5 eruption, halting air travel in the northern hemisphere, cooling the planet, adding insult to injury, and beginning the global unrest that will ensue over the decades. Worldwide volcano news update. Krakatoa about to blow still going. Dukono, continuous volcanic ash, as well as Krakatoa, as well as Fuego, Barren Island, Dukono, Reventador, Öræfajökull, on Uptick, and Osama, not Bin Laden, and Kinchinorabu also erupting just 12 hours ago. Let's run it through. Would you just look at it? There it is. A plume from Kinchinorabu. Heads up, Volcano YT. And the stellar eruption emanating from Saku. Thumbs up over here at Volcano YT. And we'll let it run through for a minute. Looks like a stratospheric VEI-1. Here we see a secondary explosion happening here. Come check out the eruption. Huge amounts of atmospheric aerosols here, clearly affecting the weather locally. And can you imagine the mountains of ash that are accumulating in the local regions here? from Saku. And this is just a taste of things to come where you can watch it live before it really gets big. And that's boom. Let's talk about stratospheric radiation in the form of cosmic rays. Yeah, neutron monitors off the charts. Here are the newest numbers. The most recent data. Maine is off the planet. Washington State as well. Oregon is up there. Kansas, California, all on the increase. Maine is a straight up ramp. Get out of New England before you evolve. That's all I got to say. Space weather news update. We have 7 continuous days without spots on the sun. 173 total days this year. And I'm going to predict 200 total spotless days this year, followed by 2 consecutive years, 2019 and 2020, with over 300 days spotless. And if we compare that to the last solar cycle, we had a year of 268 and a year of 260 in 2008 and 9. My prediction is over 300 spotless days in 2019, potentially at 365 in 2020. I won't make that prediction until the middle of next year, however. Right now I'm saying 300 plus days for 2019 and 2020. And that shit ain't funny. Stealthy CMA prompts uncertain forecast. A small coronal mass ejection billowed away from the sun on the 23rd, following a collapse of a magnetic filament on the southern hemisphere. The CMA was so faint that forecasters aren't sure how fast or what direction it's moving. Could cause some minor perturbations. KP4, maybe a little bit of aurora. However, we are coupling with a massive disperse coronal hole, and so we are in seismic uptick. So we're going to be watching the lithosphere for large earthquakes in the next 24 hours, as well as volcanic eruptions. Dozen more breakfast foods tested positive for trace amounts of weed killer. Are you kidding me? No, you're killing me, the report says. Yeah, this is Monsanto Roundup. Roundup Ready food. It's in all your food. It's in all your processed products. You should be making your own soap. You should be making everything, including your own food. This shit is in everything. I've been warning about this for over a decade. I dedicated my life to activism, starting the march against Monsanto to point this shit out. The crony capitalism, the revolving door in the government, the FDA, the EPA, they're all related, and it all goes through big pharma and big ag. It's disgusting. If you don't know about it, you could spend the rest of your life blowing your mind. That is how insane the ruse is. If you think food is safe and you're not making it, you got a long way to go. Something else that has a long way to go, archaeology. But archaeologists claim they discovered 29 human footprints from the last ice age. And this means that people came across the Bering Land Bridge and populated North America. No, it means people were living up in the Arctic during the Ice Age, which is totally awesome. And I don't know why they would interpret it any other way. Hey, this is a friend of the channel, Southwest Genetics. If you need a place to buy cannabis seeds, this guy is doing it right down here in our region. He just sent me an amazing package, very professional, priced right. You can get your own cannabis, high CBD varieties. He is making all of his cannabis strains with high CBD. You can get sativa with high CBD, indica high CBD, or just high CBD. Southwest Genetics, do it. Just do it. It's down below. And that's a volcano butt boom. If you live in New Jersey, do not buy pot seeds. He won't ship them there. Hey, really important news, LeakCon 2019, Denver, Colorado, exposing the lies. This is where conspiracy theory becomes reality, May 18th and 19th. I'm about to announce the venue. Tinfoil hats are optional. Yes, it's true. I don't make this shit up. Yeah, I do. I made that up. I made it. Volcanoes, they's exploding. Times are changing. Get with the program, Sam. If you live near a cinder cone and you're not prepared to get out of Dodge, you're wasting time.